I am delighted to be kicking off a new series of videos that we're doing with you. This summer, we're bringing a lot of repertoire to Caramoor. It's what is being often termed now underrepresented composers, composers of color, a lot of Black composers, both deceased and living, a lot of female composers. I know that you in particular have had a long-standing role of advocacy for this work and certainly have played and been recording it for years, and also interviewing other artists for your own series. So I just thought, who better to kind of host this little series that we're doing than you? But you are also coming to Caramoor and performing a program.
To do my
So
day job.
I thought I'd turn the tables on you. How did this all start for you? And when, were you sort of drawn to really focusing a lot on this particular repertoire?
Yeah, this goes back when I was a young pianist. I did most of my studies in Europe, and so I came back to the States after many years abroad, and I realized I knew nothing about American music. I knew a lot about Beethoven. I didn't know anything about American composers, and I just sort of started digging. And the thing is that when you start digging, I think that in general, what we have known about American classical music is very much on one superficial level. You and I would throw out the same handful of names if we were asked to name an American composer. Once you get under that surface, there's so much there. And of course, the more buried stories, the more buried voices tend to belong to composers of color and to female composers. And I was like, whoa, look at this. And it just sent me onto a path. I did not think of it as advocacy, by the way. Far from it. It was just kind of archaeology, if anything. And this whole body of work that was so exciting to me. So I started performing it. And what I found right away was that audiences were similarly thrilled. And all of the things that we discover in this area are in a way very familiar because there is an American sound, and that's the connecting tissue.
I know that you have a brand new Scott Joplin CD, and you'll be bringing some of those pieces to your program. And, I'm sure most people know Scott Joplin from the Maple Leaf Rag is probably the piece that they all know. I remember the Joshua Rifkin recording that came out in 1970, which really was the first one to sort of bring out that composer. But that was 50 years ago now.
So I grew up in the aftermath of those Joshua Rifkin recordings. And, as a little kid, I learned how to play the entertainer. I think most little piano students learned how to play the entertainer. And you're right. We knew the entertainer and we knew Maple Leaf Rag. And we kind of left it there. And I've come and gone through Joplin's music throughout my life, and I find something really special in it, something that's very much rooted in an extraordinary time, right? The turn of the 20th century when American life is moving so fast, changing so fast. And he's coming to this crossroads from a place of classical music, of a classical training, which he got, by the way, from a German immigrant who had ended up in Texarkana, where he was born, because everybody's moving around, everybody's migrating here and there. And so his foundation is already complex. And then what he builds on it is innovative and brand new, and will lead immediately after he's gone to jazz and swing and everything that we know about American music. So I just find so much there to really celebrate and explore, and I can't help hearing the Chopin that's in it, and also just like the hustle and bustle and all these industry, everything that's exploding. So yeah, Joplin's a great example. We know the name, we know the music sort of, but there's so much more.
Many of the names are truly unfamiliar. I mean, Florence Price, obviously, in the last 2 years, has suddenly been discovered, rediscovered, and many orchestras are playing her music and piano. So I know you've got a piece of hers, I believe, on your program,
Mm-hmm.
as well as Margaret Bonds, who has not yet enjoyed that. You know how it is. Everybody gloms onto the first
Yeah.
name that they come. We have Florence Price. We have to be doing that, which is great. I mean, not to take anything away from her, but I mean, there are more.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
there's an endless supply.
Well, that's what's been really fascinating and exciting for me is that as soon as you discover one story, one figure, it leads you to so many others. All of these people were interconnected, and that's why the tradition is what it is. My program is called American Tapestry, and that's what it is. It's really just there's so many colors and textures and all the things that make up our music, and I think that it gives us a deeper understanding of kind of why we love the music.
Yeah. Do you have a personal favorite on the program? Is there one piece
you know
you're,
that's not possible to answer.
I
I
know. I think
what I actually love about the program is the way that all these things fit together. There's a connection that's right there waiting to be discovered, whether it's a sound world connection or a story world connection. So that's for me, that's the fun of it. It's kind of a kaleidoscope.